everyone, it's me, Krista. Welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. If not, welcome for the very first time to my little art corner here on YouTube. Today we are going to be doing a comparison between Chameleon colored pencils and Prismacolor colored pencils, side by side. I matched up the colors as well as I could between the two brands. I also made a key with swatches of the different brands and colors with the names by them so that I could figure out which ones look the most like which colors and refer to that as I was doing the drawing. And here's a photo of that little key I made. There are going to be some slight differences between a couple of the colors, specifically the more peachy, pinks, and yellow ones. For the drawing itself, I'm going to be doing a beach scene. There's a line right down the middle. The left side is going to be the Chameleon colored pencils, the right side the Prismacolor ones. I started with the pink, peach, and yellow colors to get some of the sand in there, and then I used the lighter blues for the sky, and I switched to some of the more mid-tone blues for the ocean. At the very beginning here, I wanted to keep the colors separated a bit more, so that I could keep better track of the different elements I have going on. The paper I'm using is an artist tile, a bristle one from the Strathmore 400 series. Pretty quickly I noticed that the lead for the Chameleon colored pencils is much harder, the Prismacolor one is softer, and the Prismacolor ones are more pigmented and the color lays down a little more evenly. Because the Prismacolor ones are much softer, they are more apt to break during the process. If they don't break, you do need to resharpen them a little bit more often, just because they wear down a little more quickly. The color that I noticed the pigmentation difference the most in here was the green color, the darker one. From Chameleon it's Pine, and for Prismacolor it's called Peacock Green. Since I laid down the background colors and went over it to add in the little lines for grass and whatnot, and kind of color in between and over later, I did very much notice that the Prismacolor one, it was much easier to get definitive lines over the layers I have going on. All colored pencils have a layer saturation point. What that means is that basically after so many layers, it just doesn't want to allow you to add any more pencil to that darn paper. And the Chameleon ones don't let you do quite as many layers. The white for the Prismacolor pencils worked much better. It allowed me to lighten up certain areas much more easily. Also with the Prismacolors, I noticed that I can be a little bit more sloppy with how I actually lay down the pencil. It's more easy to blend out. With the Chameleon ones, it would have been better if I would have just gone in small circular motion to immediately lay it down in a softer, more blended fashion. For the most part, I was able to find dupes in the Prismacolor for the Chameleon ones as well. A lot of these colors are very similar. Another difference between the Chameleon and Prismacolors is that the Chameleons are dual-ended, and the colors are chosen to be ones that just automatically go together, so that would be easier for a lot of people because you don't have to think as much about what colors would blend together. The only negative thing about that is that you get half of one color, basically. So if there's a specific color that you use a lot more, you're going to have to buy a pencil that also has another color on it that you don't use as often. You're going to go through the single color more quickly, and when you replace it, you're going to get a second color. I feel like you're going to run through them a little more easily. In price comparison-wise, Prismacolor ones, at least on Amazon as of filming this video, a 24-pack is $19.69. Also on Amazon, the Chameleon ones for 25-pack are $27.54. US dollars in both cases. You get a similar amount of pencils with both of them, but you do get more colors with the Chameleon ones. The further along I get in the drawing, I feel like the more you can see the differences now with the blending and how they layer up, for sure. The right side is much smoother, and the bits of grass that I drew in are much more defined. And the white I added on the line where the sand is much brighter. Same with the clouds. On a side note, because this doesn't really have much to do with the performance of the pencils, but I chose a kind of beach landscape, first of all because I don't really do a lot of landscapes. It's something I should really practice more. And also the colors that I have here just kind of scream beach scene to me. Pretty soon here you're going to see a major difference in the way the greens are pigmented. I just did some dots to indicate a little part on the plants there on the right side, which is the Prismacolor side, and I did the same thing on the left side, which is the Chameleon side. Do you see how much more defined and deeper the right side is versus the left? That's partially just because the pencil isn't as pigmented for the Chameleon, but also because it just doesn't layer nearly as well. When I did that specific part of the drawing, I really noticed the major differences in how these guys apply. Also, when I was doing the drawing, I referred to my key a lot, so when I applied a certain color to one side, especially because there are a lot of blues that look similar, I made sure that I applied the color, the same dupe from the other side around the same time. There were a couple times where I accidentally had the pencils mixed up on each side, but I fixed it pretty darn quick. At this point in the drawing, I was really itching to be able to pull in like a dark red or purple just to help bring the grass out a little bit more and darken it up, create that bit more contrast color and depth-wise. But I don't have those colors in the Chameleon pencils, and the whole point of this project is to test them out against each other and see what the actual differences are. When I got the Chameleon ones as part of the sketch box from March, I could immediately tell that they applied differently than colored pencils I'm used to using. And I was able to explain some of that, but doing it side by side like this definitely highlights the differences in how they apply. And I do want to remind everybody that we all have our own personal preferences with how art supplies works. A lot of things I'm putting in here are just my opinions, and you can have your own ones. And if you have different ones, or even if you have the same ones, let me know in that comment section down below. But back to the project for now. I do end up pulling in a white gel pen to add some highlights to the water and a couple of other small areas of the drawing. I did this because I normally pull them in for bright whites and colored pencil drawings anyway, and I wanted to see if there was really a difference in how it would apply over it, and there really wasn't one. It seemed to work just as well on both sides. Overall, my conclusion is that I still prefer Prismacolor. Little biased, I just like how much more pigmented they are and how much more easily they blend out than the Chameleon ones. I also think I was able to get sharper lines with the Prismacolors. But you can get more colors with the Chameleon ones because they are dual-ended. Price-wise, it's pretty similar for the same amount of pencils, but you get twice as many colors with the Chameleon. But this experiment, and therefore this video, is pretty much done. If you liked this video, please hit that like button. If you have any comments, questions, feelings, or concerns, please let me know in that comment section down below. If you want to see more videos like this, please feel free to subscribe. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day or night to watch this video and listen to me ramble. I greatly appreciate it. I look forward to hearing from you guys soon, and you'll definitely be hearing from me soon. Bye, everybody!